Phase 3 is qualification. Asking deeper questions and offer your own deeper answers to those questions, like what are your dreams and ambitions, to see if there's any common ground. Otherwise, you probably will not get along and it won't work out. So that means no lying. You know that those guys that travel the world and they teach people how to pick up women? A lot of that is using lies and manipulation to get a girl, right? This is the opposite of that. This is using real. This is real. Like, you want to pick up a girl that you want to have a relationship with, and maybe long term. It's not meant for like one night stands and stuff like that. This is real. This is like a real relationship. Or in a business setting, it's to get a real good business partner. So now you ask them what their dreams are and their ambitions to see if there's common ground. If they say something about, I like to travel, and you like to travel, then you zone in on that. Or you know you've got one commonality. Or if they say their ambition is something to do with dogs and you love dogs, then there's a second one. So now you're seeing what interests you have in common. Not just a girl. It could be, like I said, whatever. Then, 4 is escalation, phase 4. Now you set up a real date to eat, see a movie, or do together anything that you matched earlier. So if you both like to travel, then your dating prospect would be to travel somewhere. Doesn't have to be expensive. You could travel to
the backyard.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Better hope she's a cheap date.
And try eating out at a McDonald's.
No, you got Tim Hortons for chicken and creamer.
Unless, you know what? When you are doing phase 3 and exploring their ambitions in life, if they actually said something like, I hope to be a McDonald's franchisee someday, maybe you can take them to McDonald's. You know what I mean? So the whole, I guess, if you step back for a second, the whole idea behind social engineering is taking the other person and working subconsciously, maybe is a good word. So you're not hurting anybody, you're not lying, you're not manipulating per se, but what you're doing is you are steering the whole situation in a way that you know where you're taking it and you know why you're taking it. So while you're asking questions and you're doing things, they may not understand why you're asking questions per se, but it's innocent, first of all, and you're taking it somewhere. So social engineering might be in another context. There was a guy I knew of who was doing stand-up, and he didn't even write a book. He said into the audience, he said, let's try an experiment. And he said, everybody here at 4:00 p.m. tomorrow, everybody follow me on Twitter and subscribe on Twitter at the exact same time. So what happened first is at 4:00, because the Twitter servers reset every 2 hours to keep track of what's trending and the top 10 things. So they all did it at 4:00, which was right after a switch or in between a switch. And there was something like 500 people that all subscribed at the same time. He jumped to number 1 on the trending list of Twitter. That's social engineering. He understood how it worked and he manipulated the situation to get to number 1. Then he said, put in that your favorite book was, and he gave them a title of a fake book, and they all said that this was their favorite book, and that book that didn't even exist went to number 3 on the top 10, and it's not even a real book. So he was proving how easy it is to manipulate the rules of the environment to your benefit, which is social engineering. But it's also in a context of picking up a date, for instance. Now you're manipulating things that way. Just a little different.
It's interesting because the past couple of weeks I've been reading like 4 books I've got read on this whole subject.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Like, who are they from, or what are they called? If you remember.
2 of the guys' first names were Adam, and I can't remember what their last names were.
Not the same guy, though?
No.
Just a coincidence?
Coincidence.
Yeah.
So one's called Dark Psychology. They're all, I'm getting all their titles mixed up, but they're all basically like never be manipulated or lied to, and
Or if you went into a bank to get a loan, going through these steps might be good. So if you started with phase 1 with the other person, then you could do the basic introductions, and then you start by. So step 1, you're building rapport, saying the shaking and the smiling, pointing, oh, is this your family? And just some friendly interaction and stuff like that. And then you break rapport by doing something unusual, even if it's not a magic trick. I've heard people say, or if you follow Tony Robbins, he says that if you're talking in the middle of a conversation, you go, hey, what time is it? You've just broken rapport. And the guy thinks you're crazy, but you stand out, right? Did I stand out?
I think I will remember you now.
Okay. Then phase 3, again, is, where am I? Phase 3 is asking about ambitions, career goals, and stuff like that. Actually, kind of had a laugh about it. It's like, oh, you'll never forget me. Or Dane Cook. You know the comedian Dane Cook? He says, this was way before I knew anything about this. Dane Cook, in one of his stand-ups, he says that he's always had this fantasy about if he saw a kid sitting in a park bench in the summertime eating an ice cream cone, he'd go up, he'd run up to him and he'd slap the ice cream cone into his face and say, don't ever forget me, and then run away. And he said, that kid will remember you for the rest of his life. Right? It's that kid will have nightmares. But he'll never forget the day. He'll be a grandfather saying, I remember when this stranger ran up to me and slapped my ice cream cone in my face and said, don't ever forget me. So that's called breaking rapport. You just totally out and left people doing something completely different. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
there's something similar in one of the books too, something about that. And
Yeah.
I can't remember how they put it though, but they said like they're probably going to forget what was said before that moment, but they won't forget.
That's right. And if they see 500 people for maybe a movie role, if you're going into audition, if they see 500 people and you're that one guy that stood way out, there's a high probability you're going to get the role. So you're manipulating the situation to your benefit. You're not lying, kind of poking fun, maybe some stuff like that, but you're doing something so outrageous that they know you, they remember.